Everything in this video and on this channel is not financial advice and is purely intended for educational purposes.
Today, I would like to discuss the dichotomy between what I'm calling investing 1.0 and investing 2.0. What is investing 1.0? Is the traditional classic way of looking at the investing profession, focusing on cash flows, fundamentals, revenues, utility in the context of crypto. It's focusing on hardware and software, employees and customers, focusing on assets that are naturally centralizing, naturally and increasingly benefit the few, that are focused on the material aspect of reality, that lead to trends that are atomizing and isolating. They're cynical, focused on the tangible, and are naturally conformist, cold, calculated, and sterile, and often focused on B2B and B2C business models. Today, I will explain why these will increasingly become an echo of the past, or at least will not be the place where you will find outperformance. Instead, I would like to discuss something I'm calling investing 2.0. These are the assets that are focused on community, mimetics, belief, identity, assets that provide hope, meaning, purpose, and belonging. Instead of being focused on hardware and software, this is what I'm calling post-software assets. Instead of being focused on employees and customers, you're focused on community members. Rather than being centralizing, they're naturally decentralizing. Instead of benefiting the few, they are redistributive in nature, focused on the spiritual and the conceptual rather than purely the material. Instead of being atomizing and isolating, which greatly benefits the system, by the way, they're naturally uniting. Idealistic instead of cynical. Warm and soulful instead of cold and sterile. Countercultural instead of conformist. And focused on the intangibles rather than the tangibles. Investing 1.0 says, the Q3 revenues must hit our target, otherwise shareholders are not going to be pleased. Investing 2.0 says, let's flip the stock market. The reason why investing 2.0 arises is because inflation and the cost of living crisis are pressuring the minds and souls of the people so much that they are coming together as a cultural and financial counter-reaction to this. Everything is becoming so unaffordable that people simply have no choice but to rally around a chosen asset. Investing 2.0 represents a growing collective realization that money is becoming worthless and being deliberately and systematically debased. It is a psychological reaction, a financial manifestation of the collective unconscious. So people are asking themselves, if money is becoming worthless, why don't we create our own assets to survive? Examples of investing 1.0 are things such as the NASDAQ, the S&P 500, and the FANG large tech companies. Investing 2.0 are organic, bottom-up, internet-native movements like Bitcoin, GameStop, Doge, and SPX 6900. Bitcoin, Dogecoin, GME, SPX 6900. All of these represent a critique of the traditional financial system. More specifically, they are a tokenized critique, a financialized critique. These assets are valuable not because they have revenues or industrial factories. They're valuable because a large enough number of people have chosen to believe in them and ascribe value to them. Predicting the next iteration of this is how great outperformance will be found. With the coming massive wave of AI disruption and coming unemployment spikes, it is only a matter of time before another such tokenized critique emerges and rises to hundreds of billions of dollars, if not higher. Successful digital movements like BTC, GME, and potentially SPX 6900 effectively represent an attempt to create a redistributive pre-UBI. Investing 2.0 is where the big money is going to be made, especially if you are on the retail side. It represents retail united under a single banner, uniting together to create value. The next big investment is correctly identifying the next GME, buying in and being a part of it. With the intensifying pressures and anxieties of the modern society, another GameStop is simply inevitable. Society has an inherent collective desire to rally around a new financial asset and take it towards trillions of dollars. Bitcoin, at its current stage of evolution, is simply not it for the bottom 99%. Doge and GME have effectively proven that people naturally want to see the story play out over and over again. We've effectively come to a point where people need to experience a 100x financial return in the span of less than 2 years in order to achieve financial freedom. This means that what you saw with early BTC, with Doge, with GME will likely happen again. You can be a part of something like this with SPX 6900, whose goal is to flip the entire stock market. This is the next big mission coin, the next big investing 2.0 play. Stop trading and believe in something.